Oh man, that's like having 10 kids and saying pick a favorite,
Yeah.
which probably you could, but man, there's a lot of artists that I'm enjoying working with John Mayer right now a lot because we're finishing up his album. He's amazing. I think he's a genius. That guy's badass. You know, there's so many artists, man. I remember back in the day, you know, Gladys Knight. Oh my God, she was like, I was in love with her. She was the nicest. Not only she the most talented, but the nicest human being. So I tend to like artists that are just good human beings, you know, whatever personality that is. They're just, at the end of the day, they're just good humans, you know. And I'll never forget the first time I met her. I was like, wow. I mean, someone like Alicia Keys as well. I mean, she's got such a big heart. You know, there's so many artists that come to mind, you know, that it's hard, you know. I believe that, you know, I treat people the way I want to be treated. And once the dust settles in the studio, you know, I want to be treated like this, and I demand, in a way, that type of treatment. And it's amazing how that comes right back, you know. So I've had 99.9% of the time I've had great experiences with artists. You know, it's crazy because they'll tell us some dirt about it. And I'm like, I don't have any. You know, today, yeah, you get. I think it's like a two-part question, like who do you want to work with today, or who would you work, like your heroes, right? Like Led Zeppelin, right? Imagine working with Led Zeppelin at their peak or whatever. But now, man, I'd like Radiohead, stuff like that, you know. I mean, if I could work with someone like Radiohead, that would be the most amazing thing, you know. I like bands, man. I like being in that environment where, you know, where there's friction, but yet there's camaraderie. There's, you know, that soup. You know, it's really exciting. So, a band like Radiohead that takes chances and does it all. You know, they always go against the grain. Someone like, you know, I wish I had worked with Prince. You know, like when he was alive. I mean, that would have been the highlight of my career. You know. So yeah, there's a lot of artists that I wish I could, you know.
Yeah.
But those are the ones that, especially Radiohead, that comes to mind right now. I wouldn't use the word hate, but what can you do without? And I can do without some of the egos. You know, it's like everybody's trying to prove something for the wrong reason. Not everyone, but a lot of people do. And for whatever that reason is, you know, that I can do with less of that.
Okay.
You know, I stopped thinking about stuff like that a long time ago because that would drive me nuts. I stopped listening to mixes on the radio. I stopped listening to anything after it leaves here because I was always disappointed. You know, like, mastering, screw this up. Oh, the radio's smashing it, and you can't hear that delay. You can't hear that, or you hear too much of this. And so that used to, keep me up at night. But I haven't really, you know, I've adapted to, once it's done, it's done. And I have no control over it. So what that teaches me is like, hey, quality time. If you're mixing for this hour, make it the best you can. You know, and that is good advice for anyone, right? Just be the best mixer for that hour. If you're a dad for these 3 hours, be the best dad. Be quality time. So that you don't have to go back and regret some of the decisions you made.